Hey guys, this is Martin again. Welcome back to another video in the mini series around burp tips and tricks. And today I want to show you something called response interception. Okay, so normally what you have seen in all the labs and what you typically do is you send your request to repeater and then you change things in your request, right, as you send them up to the server. But you also have the possibility to modify responses coming back from the server. So what that means basically, before it hits your browser, you're modifying it and then it's rendered incorrectly. Now you might say, why is this any useful or things like that? Because, well, there's two things to it. Normally, like you can control your own browser rendering, right? Like because you sit in your browser, right? Like for example, I can come in here, go to inspect, and I can go down here to the I can come down here to the JavaScript console and put in alert 0, for example, and bang, I have an XSS, right? But this is like self XSS, and this is just locally, right? But where this comes into play when it comes to penetration testing and bug bounty and things like that is often the server may respond with something like a value, like say you topped up some money or something, and then and particularly around mobile apps, right? And then if the logic is coded incorrectly by the developers, you may be able to inflict certain problems on your local application. So for example, I had a bug bounty engagement, actually a pen test engagement, not too long ago, like 6 months ago, and I was able to load, say for example, $10, right? $10 for a service. And the response then basically was credited amount $10. And that response was then used by the application in order to be able to order certain things, right? But I was able to intercept that response and change it to $100. And then the application locally on the phone actually thought I have $100 in the budget. So it didn't confirm this with the backend. And this is where these kind of things become extremely useful. Also, when you think about web views, for example, and that's part of mobile application pen testing, but sometimes if the web views are not sanitized correctly, you can inflict a cross-site scripting attack by simply controlling the response, what is basically coming back. So if you were a man in the middle, for example, and you are able to inject an XSS payload and the web view is not sanitizing the input correctly, then you have a cross-site scripting issue on the mobile app, right? So it certainly has its use, and I just want to show you like how to use this. So I turn the intercept on, I come over here, I reload my page, right? And then you see this is my GET request, which I now have on hold, and I right click and then I say do intercept response to this request. And that's it basically. And then I forward the GET request, and this is my response basically. This is the HTTP 200, okay. And now I can say here, for example, basic click checking, I would say basic black check. Like funny, basic black check with CSRF token protection, and forward that, right? Forward everything else, stop the intercept, go to my page, and now as you can see here, it rendered basic black check with CSRF token protection. Now, this is just an example, right? But this is the feature you should specifically be using when you're testing mobile applications, particularly around web views or mobile applications where there is any functionality happening, like for example crediting, and you can trick the application locally in believing that you actually uploaded more money than you did, if this is not backend verified, right? So it certainly has its use cases. I hope this makes sense, and I see you in the next video.